Have you ever felt like your life has been surrounded by mysterious forces, forces you can't see but can sense? If you're one of God's chosen ones, you might have experienced moments when everything seemed to go wrong, only for something inexplicable to happen that turned things around, almost as if some invisible hand was working behind the scenes. What if I told you that sometimes even the forces of darkness, those demons that so many fear, are secretly assisting you? It might sound absurd, even impossible, but this shocking truth could change the way you view the spiritual world forever. Before we unravel this profound mystery, I want to thank each of you who has supported this channel through your likes, shares, and especially your generous contributions through Super Thanks. Your encouragement fuels this community and allows us to delve into these deeply spiritual revelations. To all my faithful viewers, if you're as intrigued as I am by the incredible ways God works through the unexpected, comment 777 below. Let's fill the comments with faith and connection, a collective reminder that we're walking this journey together as chosen ones. Now let me ask you this, have you ever considered why these dark forces, which seem to work against God's plans, would choose to assist you rather than oppose you? Could it be that even they recognize the immense power and purpose you carry? There's a deeper story unfolding behind the veil, a spiritual plot that's far more complex than the typical battle of good versus evil we've been taught. These dark forces have their own motives, but their actions ultimately align with God's divine plan for your life. Why is this happening, and what does it mean for you as one of God's chosen? Prepare to open your eyes to a revelation unlike anything you've heard before. This video will uncover the hidden truths behind these spiritual mysteries, secrets so profound they will transform the way you understand the battle between light and dark. The question is, are you ready to embrace the power and protection that have always been with you, even in ways you never imagined? Stay with me, because what you're about to learn is a secret that has the potential to change everything. God's chosen ones, demons are secretly assisting you. Why? Since ancient times, the chosen have been uniquely set apart as those who possess the remarkable ability to confront and subdue demonic forces. These forces, driven by their relentless desire to corrupt and lead souls astray, find themselves powerless against those imbued with divine protection. The truth is undeniable, evil may scheme and attack, but it cannot triumph over a chosen one shielded by a divine force beyond all human comprehension. Have you ever considered how every spiritual battle you face is a testament to this reality? As one of God's chosen, your journey is marked by encounters in the unseen realm, where battles rage that others cannot perceive. Every decision, every action you take is carefully observed by invisible entities. Yet there's an extraordinary truth you must never forget: you are never alone. Around you shines an unseen light, a divine shield that deflects every sinister intention, sending it back to the darkness from which it originated. This divine protection is not merely a blessing, it is tangible proof of God's presence in your life. Have you noticed how this shield not only guards you but also illuminates the path for others when despair surrounds them? Consider the words of Psalm 91 verse 11, where it is written, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." This divine assurance is what empowers you to stand firm when spiritual storms arise. Your very presence emanates peace and security, a reflection of the light within you, a light that demons fear because they recognize they cannot extinguish it. How could darkness ever comprehend the brilliance of God's light? To be chosen is to hold a direct connection to the divine, an open line of communication with the Creator of the universe. This connection equips you with extraordinary discernment, enabling you to see beyond the physical and hear the truth that others might miss. Have you ever felt that subtle, yet unshakable voice within steering you away from unseen dangers and guiding you to blessings? This is the voice of the Holy Spirit, the gift that sets you apart as a guardian of sacred truths and a protector of the light. Think of Elijah, who stood alone on Mount Carmel against the prophets of Baal. Though surrounded by darkness and opposition, his unwavering faith called down fire from heaven, proving God's sovereignty. 1 Kings 18 verses 36 to 39. Like Elijah, your role as one of God's chosen is to stand firm, even when evil attempts to overshadow your light. Even when the shadows draw near, attempting to smother the radiance you carry, they meet an impenetrable resistance. The chosen are not feeble, They are fortified warriors, strengthened by faith and a profound understanding of their divine purpose. How often do you reflect on the greater plan God has for your life, even amidst challenges that seem insurmountable? This faith, the very foundation of your strength, is what empowers you to rise after every fall. It drives you forward when all around you seems to crumble. In Ephesians 6 verses 10 to 11, Paul reminds us, "Be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes." This armor, a divine gift, ensures that no force of darkness can defeat you. In moments of doubt or hardship, remember this: you are a beacon of hope, a reflection of God's unwavering love and power. Your life is a testimony that even in the face of adversity, the light of the chosen cannot be overcome. Have you embraced this truth and allowed it to guide not only your steps but also those who look to you for strength? There is a profound reason why you, as one of God's chosen, are enveloped in constant protection and divine power. It is not coincidental, it is intentional, tied to the magnitude of your mission. Your life serves as a living testimony to God's unparalleled power, a radiant example of how light will always overcome darkness. When you recognize this truth, the world around you transforms. You begin to see every event, every encounter, as part of a grand divine plan in which you are a central figure. Have you ever wondered why the forces of darkness, despite their tireless efforts, cannot truly touch you? The answer lies in the divine hand over your life. Imagine the frustration of dark entities as they realize that no matter how much they strive to bring you down, they cannot prevail against the light within you. This raises a compelling question: how do these forces react to their inevitable defeat? And here emerges a fascinating mystery: demons are not mere agents of chaos. Did you know that they have personalities, motivations, and intricate intentions? To you, God's chosen, understanding this complexity is critical. Demons do not act solely out of malice or destruction, their actions often carry deeper purposes. Some approach the chosen not with the intent to destroy, but in a desperate attempt to escape their fate. These moments reveal the profound influence you carry as one divinely connected. Even entities of darkness sometimes seek proximity to the chosen, hoping to find redemption or avoid harsher judgment. Consider the encounter between Jesus and the legion of demons in Mark 5 verses 1 to 13. When confronted by Christ, the demons pleaded not to be cast into the abyss but instead sought refuge in a herd of pigs. This interaction reveals that even demons recognize the authority of divine power. As one of the chosen, your spiritual discernment is your greatest weapon. Demons are cunning manipulators, capable of disguising their motives. They may approach not to destroy, but to subtly influence or deceive. Imagine standing among individuals unknowingly influenced by these entities. The demons observe and strategize, searching for the smallest weakness, a crack in your spiritual armor through which they might enter. How often do you reflect on the strength of your armor of faith? Yet their actions are not always overtly destructive. Sometimes, demons may offer assistance in moments of need, presenting themselves as allies. However, their aid always comes with a hidden cost, a concealed intention lurking in the shadows. This raises a vital question for you: how can you discern whether their actions are genuine or part of a larger, sinister plan? The Apostle Paul provides guidance in 2 Corinthians 11 verses 14 to 15, where he warns that Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. Even acts that appear helpful or beneficial can carry ulterior motives when they originate from darkness. Your role as one of the chosen is to pierce through these facades, to perceive the truth behind the actions of these entities. This is no small challenge, yet it is one you are divinely equipped to face. Your mission as a chosen one is not just to stand as a beacon of light, but also to navigate the intricate web of spiritual deception with wisdom and grace. Do you see how every encounter, even with forces of darkness, is an opportunity to grow stronger in your faith and purpose? As you walk this path, remember that you are not just a warrior in this battle, you're also a testament to the power of God's light, which no darkness can overcome. Have you ever had an unsettling feeling, as though someone close to you isn't what they appear to be? This could be more than intuition, it might be a sign that hidden forces are at work. Demons are notorious for their ability to disguise themselves, using human vulnerabilities as gateways to infiltrate and exert influence. Yet as one of God's chosen, you possess a rare and powerful sensitivity. This heightened awareness enables you to sense when something is out of place, even when others remain oblivious. Have you considered how this ability to perceive the unseen is both a profound blessing and a weighty responsibility? Your discernment is not merely about identifying evil, it is about understanding its nature, motives, and tactics. This gift demands vigilance, for demons often hide behind masks of familiarity and trust, posing as allies to gain access. Yet your spiritual light, rooted in God's power, illuminates these shadows, exposing their true intent. Reflect on 2 Corinthians 2 verse 11, which reminds us, we are not unaware of his schemes. This divine wisdom equips you to stand firm against deception, no matter how convincing it appears. Why do demons attempt to approach the chosen, knowing they risk exposure? The answer lies in your unique nature. They recognize that the power within you is not something they can confront directly. This divine strength, bestowed upon you as a chosen one, is impenetrable. However, their strategy lies in cunning. They seek to infiltrate rather than attack openly. They exploit moments of vulnerability, attempting to sow doubt or manipulate emotions. Yet each failed attempt reinforces an eternal truth: light will always triumph over darkness. Consider the example of Jesus in the wilderness, where Satan tried to manipulate him with promises and deceit, Matthew 4 verses 1 to 11. Despite these temptations, Jesus discerned the enemy's intent and stood firm, wielding the word of God as his defense. As a chosen one, you walk a similar path. How often do you lean on God's word and the Holy Spirit for clarity when faced with spiritual confusion? Demons may disguise themselves as friends, subtly inching closer under the guise of support or camaraderie. Yet your discernment allows you to see beyond their masks, recognizing these efforts as tactics to influence and control. Have you noticed how their presence often coincides with pivotal moments in your spiritual journey, as though they are desperate to divert you from your divine purpose? Your inner light, a reflection of God's presence within you, is an impenetrable force. This light not only protects you but also serves as a beacon, exposing the shadows for what they truly are. As John 1 verse 5 declares, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. This promise is a cornerstone of your strength, a reminder that no matter how cleverly darkness tries to encroach, it can never extinguish the divine radiance within you. In their attempts to infiltrate, demons unknowingly affirm your divine calling. Their failures highlight the strength of the chosen and the futility of their schemes. Have you ever paused to reflect on how your resistance to these forces serves as a testament to God's enduring power? Your life, marked by discernment and unwavering faith, stands as proof that evil cannot prevail over good. So remain steadfast. Use your discernment not just to protect yourself, but to illuminate the truth for others. Each encounter with these hidden forces is an opportunity to grow in wisdom and to reaffirm the undeniable truth: darkness can never overpower the light of the chosen. The ongoing struggle between light and darkness, between the chosen and the demonic forces, is central to the role you play in this world. This interaction is not merely one of direct confrontation. It is a complex and delicate battle fought not just with words or physical actions, but deep within the soul and spirit. As a chosen one, you must understand that every encounter is more than it seems. It's a continual opportunity to reaffirm your strength, your divine light, and your deep connection with the Creator. Have you ever stopped to consider how each moment of interaction, each person you meet, holds spiritual significance, whether consciously or unconsciously? This battle isn't confined to grand, obvious confrontations. Often, it's a battle of influence, one that quietly rages in the depths of hearts and minds. Demons do not always fight openly. They often work in the shadows, subtly attempting to sway those they can reach, weaving their influence into lives in unexpected ways. This is why you, as a chosen one, must remain vigilant, constantly discerning the nature of the energies and forces around you. Each time you interact with someone, whether a friend, family member, or stranger, there is a potential spiritual undercurrent at play. How many times have you been surprised by a moment of intense negativity, a strange heaviness, or a sudden dark thought, even in the presence of someone who seemed innocent? Remember that not everyone around you shares the same light. While you, as a chosen one, carry the divine light of God, others may be under the influence of dark forces, even without their awareness. These influences are not always outwardly visible. They can be subtle, creeping into the lives of others in ways that may initially seem harmless or even beneficial. Demons often manifest through negative attitudes, destructive thoughts, or actions that seem well-intentioned on the surface. But the truth is, these forces seek to sow confusion, misdirection, and ultimately to disrupt the divine purpose that God has placed in the hearts of His chosen ones. Consider the words of Matthew 7 verse 15, "Beware of false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves." Just as false prophets may disguise their true intentions, demons often present themselves in ways that seem harmless or even benevolent. Their aim is not always to destroy outright, but to subtly influence and undermine God's work. Think about it. How often do you encounter someone who seems to operate from a place of deep bitterness or jealousy, or perhaps they exhibit erratic behavior seemingly for no reason? These are the subtle ways that demonic influence can manifest, slowly twisting hearts and minds away from divine purpose. Can you identify these subtle forces and trace them to their true source? Are you alert to the ways in which dark influences try to attach themselves to people, making their way into your life or the lives of those around you? This is why discernment is so vital to your walk as a chosen one. Your divine sensitivity allows you to perceive beyond the surface, to see the hidden motivations behind actions and words. It's not enough to simply judge based on what's visible. The true challenge is to look deeper, to discern what is of God and what is not. In 1 John 4 verse 1, the Bible advises, "Dear friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world." This command encourages you to examine the spiritual sources of the influences around you so you can stand firm in truth. As you move through the world, remember that your light attracts more than just other light bearers. Your spiritual presence draws all kinds of energies, some seeking guidance, and others unfortunately attempting to corrupt. The key to overcome these subtle attacks is vigilance. Recognizing these influences, even when they come disguised as ordinary thoughts or actions, is the first step in reclaiming control over the environment you allow yourself to be in. Have you learned to recognize these hidden forces at work in your daily life, or are you sometimes caught off guard by their subtle presence? The challenge then is to develop your spiritual senses, to be so in tune with God's voice and purpose that you can immediately discern what is from Him and what seeks to deviate you from your divine path. Ephesians 6 verses 11 to 12 reminds us, "Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." This armor, including the shield of faith and the sword of the Spirit, is your defense against the hidden forces that seek to attack. As you face these unseen forces, remember that you are not just a passive bystander, you are a chosen one, called to stand strong and reflect God's light in every circumstance. The power of discernment, rooted in God's wisdom, is a vital tool in this spiritual battle. Each encounter with darkness is an opportunity for you to reaffirm the truth that light will always overcome. In John 1 verse 5, it says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." Your light, fueled by God's presence in your life, will never be extinguished by the darkness around you. So stay vigilant and trust in the power of the Holy Spirit to guide you through every challenge. As God's chosen ones, you may not always recognize when you're surrounded by individuals influenced by demons. These people may appear charismatic, kind, or even generous, masking their true intentions. What may seem like harmless interactions could be distractions designed to divert you from your divine purpose. Their actions, while seemingly innocent, may be a manifestation of a deeper, unseen force at work. These individuals, unknowingly or perhaps intentionally, can become puppets in a spiritual battle, controlled by forces that seek to pull you away from God's path for your life. The influence of demons is not always overt. In fact, it is often so subtle that you might not even recognize it until you're already entangled. These forces don't always confront you with open aggression, but instead work quietly behind the scenes, slowly eroding your focus and your clarity. You might find yourself in situations where you feel drained, confused, or caught in cycles of doubt, even when everything outwardly seems fine. It's much like a storm brewing quietly in the distance, unseen yet gradually becoming stronger. Have you ever been in a group where, despite everything looking normal, there's an underlying tension, a strange negativity that lingers just beneath the surface? This is often the work of unseen spiritual forces influencing those around you, pulling at the very fabric of your peace. Consider the story of Peter in the Bible. In Matthew 16 verse 23, Jesus rebuked Peter by saying, "Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the concerns of God, but merely human concerns." Peter, a close follower of Jesus, was unknowingly influenced by Satan's attempts to divert Jesus from his divine mission. It shows us that even those closest to us can be unwitting conduits for negative spiritual forces. Demons don't just target strangers, they can use those we trust to lead us astray. Can you recall a time when someone close to you unknowingly planted seeds of doubt, confusion, or fear in your heart? It is crucial to recognize that these aren't just mere words, they may be the subtle whispers of dark forces. The challenge for God's chosen ones is to remain vigilant and spiritually alert. If you allow yourself to be influenced by negative energies, whether from people or environments, you risk being pulled away from your divine calling. It's essential to keep your spiritual defenses high. Ephesians 6 verse 11 urges us to put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. The armor of God, comprising truth, righteousness, the gospel of peace, faith, salvation, and the word of God, serves as your protection against these attacks. By remaining spiritually strong and keeping your mind clear, you can avoid falling into the traps laid by demons. Remember that it's not just about fighting against overt evil. Sometimes, the greatest battles occur in the subtle ways we're led astray. People may not even realize that they are under the influence of dark forces, but they may act in ways that cause harm to your spirit. Family members, friends, and even colleagues can become vessels for these influences without even realizing it. The key is to approach these situations with wisdom and compassion. You are called to love and forgive, but you must also guard your heart. Proverbs 4 verse 23 reminds us, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Loving from a distance may be necessary to protect your own spiritual well-being. What do you do when you find yourself in such situations? Do you confront the negative influences head-on, or do you take a step back and pray for guidance? It's important to recognize that while demons may seek to manipulate and control, God has given you the power to overcome these challenges. By staying close to God, maintaining a strong spiritual foundation, and being wise in your relationships, you can navigate the world's hidden dangers. The more aware you become of the subtle spiritual warfare around you, the better equipped you'll be to stand firm in your faith and purpose. Ultimately, you are chosen, and with that comes not only blessings but also trials. These trials often take the form of subtle spiritual attacks, and only by staying vigilant in your faith can you recognize them for what they truly are. How will you respond to the hidden forces that seek to derail your divine destiny? Will you continue to walk in the path that God has set for you, despite the challenges, knowing that He is your protector and guide? When you sense that someone close to you is being influenced by evil forces, the first step is to refrain from reacting with fear or anger. Instead, lean into your intuition and discernment, for these are powerful tools given to you as a chosen one. Ask yourself, what are this person's intentions? How do their actions impact me? These questions can help you navigate the situation with wisdom and clarity. Remember, discernment is a gift that empowers you to see beyond the surface and recognize the true nature of what is at play. You're not called to judge others hastily but to understand and act with spiritual awareness. Acknowledge the presence of negative influences, but do not allow them to dictate your reactions or actions. This is where your spiritual vigilance becomes crucial. Every day, you must exercise your discernment to protect your soul and your divine purpose. The challenge lies in remaining steadfast and true to your spiritual integrity, even when surrounded by forces that seek to lead you astray. It's a constant reminder that, as a chosen one, your strength is not just in the big moments of life but also in the everyday interactions, decisions, and conversations you face. Can you remember a time when you felt overwhelmed by someone's negative energy? How did you respond? The choices you make in these subtle moments are where your faith is tested and where your spiritual strength shines. Consider the story of King David in the Bible. In 1 Samuel 24, David had the chance to harm King Saul, who was actively seeking to destroy him. Despite being pursued by an evil force, David chose not to retaliate in anger or fear. Instead, he demonstrated great discernment, choosing not to harm Saul, even though the situation seemed to justify it. This act of restraint and wisdom was not only a victory for David but a powerful lesson for us as God's chosen ones. When faced with negative influences, your ability to keep your composure, to choose love over retaliation, and to maintain your spiritual integrity is the true test of your faith. In these moments, your inner light becomes your greatest protection. As you maintain a deep connection with the divine, you not only shield yourself from harmful influences but also become a beacon of hope and inspiration for those around you. The more you strengthen your relationship with God, the more your presence will naturally lead others toward light. Even in the midst of darkness, your life will serve as a testament to the power of staying grounded in faith, even when the world tries to pull you in different directions. Have you noticed how people are often drawn to you in times of turmoil, seeking your guidance and peace? This is not by accident, but by design. You are meant to be a light in the world, guiding others as you walk in faith. As you become more aware of the demonic forces that seek to sway those around you, a deeper understanding of your role as the chosen one will emerge. These tests, while challenging, are not without purpose. They refine your character and strengthen your faith. The struggles you face are not arbitrary. They are designed to help you grow into the person God has called you to be. Have you ever wondered why certain challenges keep resurfacing in your life? These recurring tests may be invitations for you to grow stronger in your spiritual discernment and to better understand your purpose as God's chosen. As a chosen one, your life is a tapestry of trials and tests, carefully designed by God to prepare you for the greater purpose He has set before you. These challenges are not signs of punishment or abandonment but serve as sacred opportunities to refine your spirit and fortify your faith. Have you ever wondered why life seems to throw one obstacle after another in your path? It's because these struggles are the very crucible in which your strength is forged, revealing your true potential and proving that you are ready to fulfill the destiny ordained for you. God allows demons and dark forces to cross your path, but not to defeat you. Instead, they are tools for your refinement. Like fire purifying gold, just as a blacksmith uses intense heat to mold a blade, these spiritual challenges are intended to shape your character and deepen your faith. Does this sound paradoxical? How can something seemingly destructive be a tool for growth? The answer lies in understanding that every trial you face is an invitation to strengthen your spiritual muscles. The presence of these forces in your life is not random, it is divine design at work, strategically placed to help you tap into the latent power God has entrusted to you. Each spiritual battle you fight is an opportunity to uncover your hidden strength, just as an athlete grows stronger with each competition. The demons may seem to surround you, whispering doubt and fear, yet each victory over them serves as a powerful testimony to your resilience and unshakable connection with the divine. Think of David standing before Goliath. The giant may have appeared formidable, but the true battle was not against the physical strength of the giant, it was a test of David's faith and trust in God's plan. Similarly, the dark forces you face are mere instruments in a much larger narrative, one that reveals your capacity to trust in God's guidance and to walk through life's challenges with unwavering confidence. Why does God allow such darkness to challenge His chosen ones? Is it to test your resolve, or to push you to the brink of despair? The answer is neither. Rather, It's to confirm that you are equipped with everything needed to triumph when you face your deepest fears and insecurities. It is not an indication of weakness but an opportunity to see how deeply rooted your faith really is. Think about the Apostle Paul, who despite facing imprisonment, shipwrecks, and persecution, still proclaimed, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Philippians 4 verse 13, his endurance, his unwavering trust in God's strength, revealed his divine purpose. You too are being shaped in the same way. In moments of discouragement, when you doubt your ability to endure, remember this: your journey as the chosen one is marked by divine affirmation, not by the absence of hardship but by the presence of strength to overcome it. Each test you face, no matter how daunting, is a testament to the power within you, a power that cannot be extinguished. The demons may attempt to shake your confidence, but each victory over them serves to prove that you're not alone in this journey. You are guided, protected, and equipped to handle whatever comes your way. Do you feel discouraged at times? Do you question why certain things happen to you? Know that these trials are merely stepping stones on the path to your ultimate victory. As the chosen one, you carry a light that no darkness can extinguish. This light is the divine spark within you, a light that grows stronger through every challenge you face. Each battle, each trial, is an opportunity to shine even brighter. Like a diamond formed under immense pressure, you too are being shaped into something extraordinary. This is why God allows you to face these difficulties, not because He wants to see you suffer, but because He knows that through them you will rise stronger, more resilient, and closer to the purpose He has set for you. So when the demons try to shake your foundation, when the trials seem insurmountable, remember, these moments are the proving ground for your faith. They are not the end of your journey but a confirmation of your divine calling. You are the warrior being prepared for the spiritual battles ahead. With each victory, you are drawing closer to the greater purpose that awaits you. Will you trust in the process and allow God to mold you, or will you let fear dictate your path? The choice is yours, but rest assured, as long as you hold fast to your faith, you will emerge victorious. These tests, as challenging as they may seem, are not solely for your personal growth. They also serve a higher purpose, to inspire and uplift those around you. As a chosen one, your life becomes a beacon of hope for others who are facing their own battles. When you overcome trials, you're not only proving that it is possible to rise above adversity, but you're also showing others that light will always triumph over darkness. Your resilience becomes a testament of the strength that resides within all of us. Have you ever thought about how your victories can serve as a guiding light for someone else who feels lost in the darkness? Every time you push through a trial, you are not only fulfilling your purpose, but you are also lighting the way for others to follow. It's as though you are walking a path where each stone represents a test, and as you step over each one, you pave the way for others to follow in your footsteps. This is why God allows these challenges to come into your life. They are not just about your personal growth, but about preparing you to be an example, a leader, someone who can guide others towards spiritual victory. You may not fully understand why you have been chosen, why you face certain struggles, but believe that everything, even the most difficult moments, has a divine purpose. As you face each challenge head-on, a new layer of wisdom is unveiled within you. This wisdom is not just for you, but for those who look to you as a source of inspiration. Have you ever experienced a moment when your struggles seemed so unbearable, yet when you looked back, you realized how much you had grown? The trials you face are stepping stones that lead to the realization of your greater purpose. As you continue to evolve through these tests, you will begin to notice something profound. Each challenge carries with it a lesson that is essential to your evolution as a chosen one. At this point, you may start to ask yourself, what is God preparing me for next? This question may arise when you find yourself overcoming obstacles that seemed impossible, only to be faced with even greater challenges. It is a natural progression in your journey. It's like being in the wilderness, wandering and wondering when the breakthrough will come. But then, just as you are about to lose hope, God reveals something new, something unexpected. Just think for a moment. How often have you encountered a situation where the solution came from an unexpected source? Imagine you're in a time of need, and someone approaches offering help. At first, it feels like a divine blessing, an unexpected gift in a moment of struggle. But then, you begin to sense something beneath the surface. What if that help comes with a hidden cost, a price that you weren't prepared for? This is where the true challenge lies, recognizing the hidden intentions behind the actions of others. As a chosen one, you carry a light that attracts all sorts of individuals, both good and evil. Demons, knowing they cannot overpower you directly, sometimes choose a more subtle approach. They attempt to win your trust by offering help or guidance. But this help may not always be what it appears to be. Do you know how to discern the true intentions behind someone's kindness? Remember, demons are cunning and deceptive. They may not attack you outright, but instead they offer assistance disguised as a blessing. This is a tactic designed to distract you from your purpose and lead you down a path that would ultimately diminish your power. In the Bible, we see examples of such deception. Consider how Satan approached Jesus in the wilderness, offering him all the kingdoms of the world in exchange for his worship. Matthew 4 verses 8 to 9, on the surface, it seemed like an opportunity. But Jesus, in his wisdom, saw through the deceit and rebuked the devil. Similarly, you must stay vigilant and discerning, recognizing when what appears to be a blessing is, in fact, a trap set by the enemy. Your spiritual growth and the wisdom you gain through each trial are essential in preparing you to navigate these deceptive offers. As you grow stronger and wiser, you will be able to identify the subtle tactics used by those in the shadows. The more you rely on God's guidance and trust in His wisdom, the better equipped you will be to resist these spiritual attacks. The light that you carry within you is not just for your own benefit, it's meant to guide and protect you from the forces that seek to deceive you. You are not alone in this journey. As you continue to grow in strength and wisdom, you will find yourself better able to recognize the forces at work around you and understand the divine purpose behind every challenge. Are you ready to embrace the lessons that these trials are teaching you and to stay vigilant against the hidden dangers that may arise? As God's chosen ones, it's essential to recognize that not every hand extended to you is an act of kindness, even if it may appear so at first. You may find that help, seemingly coming from a place of compassion, could actually be a veiled trap designed by dark forces to lead you astray. Have you ever felt like someone was offering you exactly what you needed just at the right moment? Maybe it was financial assistance when you were struggling, or a friendship that appeared to be a lifeline in times of loneliness. But beneath these acts of generosity, there often lies an agenda, a hidden motive that could ultimately harm you. The Bible warns us of these deceptive influences. In 2 Corinthians 11 verse 14, we are reminded that Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. The dark forces are cunning. They know how to disguise their true intentions in forms that seem harmless, even beneficial. What looks like a helping hand could actually be an invitation to bondage, a slow erosion of your freedom and faith. Just like Judas, who betrayed Jesus with a kiss, the demonic forces disguise themselves in ways that can be difficult to detect unless you are vigilant and discerning. As God's chosen ones, your divine mission involves seeing beyond the surface, understanding the true nature of things. This is where discernment becomes your shield. When you receive assistance from demonic sources, it's as if you're making a silent agreement with darkness itself. It may look tempting at first, an easy way out of your struggles, but in the end, it will cost you far more than you could ever imagine. Have you considered how much a simple favor could demand in return? Small sacrifices that seem innocent at the time can add up, leading you down a path where trust in God weakens and the light of your faith begins to flicker. Think of how the Israelites, God's chosen people, were often lured by false idols and promises of comfort, only to face destruction in the end. In the book of Exodus, the people built a golden calf while Moses was on Mount Sinai, forgetting their covenant with God. The help they received from the golden calf was nothing but an illusion, a quick fix that ultimately led to judgment. Are you truly recognizing the golden calves in your life today? These forms of assistance may feel necessary, but they are distractions meant to weaken your resolve and lead you away from God's perfect plan. You might ask yourself, what should I do when help is offered? The answer lies in understanding the source. God never provides assistance that contradicts His will for your life. Divine help is pure, without strings attached, and it always aligns with His plans for you. On the other hand, help from demonic sources comes with hidden costs. It could start with a small favor, an offer you feel you can't refuse, but each favor accepted brings you closer to a place where your will is no longer your own. Are you willing to accept help that could ultimately change the course of your destiny? In times of hardship, it can feel overwhelming, but remember that God's guidance is always clearer and more trustworthy than any shortcut offered by the enemy. In Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6, we are told to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, in all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. The path of divine help is the one that leads to peace, righteousness, and fulfillment. Demonic assistance, however, is a detour that promises ease but ultimately brings you farther from your true purpose. The challenge for you as God's chosen is to maintain the strength to reject offers that come from the wrong place. It's not always easy to resist, especially when the need is so urgent, but remember, what appears to be an open door may actually be a trap in disguise. Trust in the purity of God's help, and when faced with the temptation of shortcuts, remember His promise that He will never leave you or forsake you. In every moment of need, His divine provision will always lead you back to the path of righteousness. As God's chosen ones, you are called to a higher level of discernment and wisdom, a wisdom that comes directly from your connection with the divine. This connection allows you to hear a whisper deep within, a voice that warns you when something is not right. When the world around you presents something that on the surface might seem good but hides a dangerous truth, have you ever felt that subtle stirring inside you telling you to be cautious, to stop and think before accepting an offer or making a decision? This inner voice, this instinct, is not just a feeling, it is the Holy Spirit guiding you, alerting you to the traps that the enemy might be laying before you. In 1 Kings 3 verse 9, Solomon, the wisest king to ever live, prayed, "Give your servant therefore an understanding mind to govern your people, that I may discern between good and evil." The wisdom that Solomon sought is the same wisdom you, as God's chosen, must seek. You have been granted the ability to discern, to see beyond the surface of situations and to recognize when something is being presented as a blessing but is in reality a snare. Demons may offer help, perhaps in the form of friendships, financial aid, or opportunities, but this help is never without strings attached. It is poison disguised as a remedy, a tool designed to draw you away from your true purpose, your divine mission. This is where faith and trust in God become essential. When you stand firm in your belief that God will provide for you in every situation, you can better resist the allure of seemingly innocent offers. In Matthew 7 verse 7, Jesus assures us, saying, "Ask and it will be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and it will be opened to you." When you seek divine guidance, you will never be led astray. God's provisions are always pure, always aligning with His will for your life. The trick is learning to pause and analyze before making decisions, especially when help seems to appear out of nowhere. So when you face a decision, especially in times of need, ask yourself, does this offer bring me closer to my purpose, God's chosen one, or is it a detour that could lead to my destruction? The answer is already within you, waiting to be heard. Your spiritual discernment, your connection to God, will provide the clarity you need. Have you ever paused and listened to your intuition in such moments? That is the Holy Spirit whispering to you, revealing the truth of the situation. When you follow this divine guidance, you begin to see that there is something deeper at play, a spiritual battle that is invisible to the naked eye but palpable in your spirit. Ephesians 6 verse 12 reminds us, "For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places." The enemy is not always as obvious as it seems. Sometimes, it takes the form of opportunities, relationships, or help that feels right but is actually aimed at steering you off course. The challenge is to be aware of these invisible battles, to recognize the manipulation behind the scenes, and to stand firm in your faith, knowing that God is in control. What else might these demons be trying to manipulate in your life? Perhaps they are trying to distort your thoughts, distract you from your purpose, or weaken your faith in God's promises. Every small compromise, every offer accepted without discernment, brings you closer to their grasp. However, when you stay true to your divine mission and trust in God's timing, you will be able to navigate these spiritual traps with wisdom, never allowing the enemy to divert you from the path of righteousness. God has equipped you with everything you need to succeed, and His guidance will always lead you away from the snares set by the enemy. When you listen to the voice of discernment, you will not be fooled. You will recognize the truth, and you will remain on the path that leads to your divine purpose. You, as a chosen one, have protection that few fully understand. It is a kind of invisible shield, an aura of light that surrounds your being and repels evil. This is one of the greatest gifts granted to the chosen, immunity to evil. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges or that evil won't try to get closer. On the contrary, dark forces are always trying to find a way to penetrate this protection. However, they always fail, for the light you carry is too powerful to be overcome. The chosen's immunity to evil is a constant reminder that you are not alone on this journey. God is with you, protecting and guiding every step you take. This spiritual shield is what keeps you safe in the midst of spiritual storms. It is what ensures that even when evil tries to attack, it can never actually touch you. Think of it as an insurmountable barrier that constantly thwarts the plans of darkness. It is this protection that makes you a target for the forces of evil, but it is also what ensures that you will always emerge victorious. In times of danger, when you feel the presence of something negative trying to approach you, remember your divine immunity. This is the guarantee that no matter how strong the storm, you will always emerge unscathed. This confidence is what makes the chosen stand out. They walk through the darkness without fear, knowing that nothing can truly touch them. This confidence is not arrogance, it is a deep faith in God and His promise of protection. The chosen know that their destiny is greater than any trap evil can place in their path. This immunity is not only physical protection but also spiritual and emotional. It protects your mind against negative thoughts, your soul against despair, and your heart against hatred. Evil cannot find a foothold in a heart protected by divine light. This does not mean that you will not feel fear or sadness, but that these emotions will never be able to dominate you. They're fleeting, while your protection is eternal. As a chosen one, you are called to remember this constantly, especially when dark forces try to destabilize you. Evil fears the chosen because they represent everything it cannot conquer. Your light is a constant reminder that good prevails, that justice will always overcome injustice. Every time you choose to follow the path of light, every time you stay true to your purpose, you are reinforcing this immunity. You are telling the world that evil has no power over you, that you are unshakable, impenetrable, and eternally protected. This is your power as the chosen one. Did you know that your presence as a chosen one is capable of changing the atmosphere of a place? Demons and dark forces immediately recognize when a chosen enters the scene. They feel the difference, a change in the air, as if a new light has been turned on, illuminating even the darkest corners. This recognition is instantaneous and inevitable. As spiritual beings, demons know exactly who the chosen are and understand the power these beings carry. This fills them with fear and respect, as they know they are facing a force much greater than themselves. When you enter a room and notice stares, whispers, or even a feeling of discomfort, it may be a sign that dark forces are recognizing your light. These moments are like a reflection of the spiritual battle that takes place on the invisible planes. What many don't realize is that this reaction is not just out of fear but also out of respect. Demons know they cannot touch a chosen one without facing serious consequences. They are aware that each chosen one carries with them the authority of a superior force, one they cannot challenge without suffering repercussions. This recognition does not mean that demons give up easily. They are cunning and persistent, always looking for a way to infiltrate. But the respect they have for the chosen is real and present. It is as if they know they are dealing with an entity on another level, someone who is in direct connection with the divine. This dynamic creates a constant tension, where the demons hesitate to act openly against the chosen, fearing the divine retaliation that will certainly come. It is this hesitation that gives the chosen the advantage, allowing them to navigate the spiritual world with confidence and security. As a chosen one, you may not see it, but with every step you take, every word you speak, the spirit world is watching. Demons know that the chosen have the power to exorcise them, to banish their influences, and to break their chains. They recognize that in the presence of a chosen one, they are forced to show their true nature, as light exposes darkness. This knowledge keeps them on their toes, always cautious, always trying not to cross the line that would result in their downfall. This respect and recognition of demons by the chosen is a testament to the spiritual power you carry. It is not only a privilege but also a responsibility. Knowing that you are respected by the forces of darkness means that you are in a position of spiritual authority, a position that demands wisdom and discernment. You are called not only to protect yourself but to be a light in the world, to bring clarity where there is confusion and to be a beacon of hope for those who are lost. In a world where the balance between good and evil is constantly at stake, the chosen stand as pillars of light and justice. When dark forces dare to challenge a chosen, the consequences are inevitable and severe. The demons, despite their cunning, know that touching a chosen is a line they must not cross. Every attempt to harm a chosen results in divine retribution that not only affects the demon but also those under its influence. This is the universal law of divine justice: every action has a reaction, and those who try to harm the chosen pay a heavy price. Imagine a moth flying toward a candle flame, attracted to the light but destined to be burned. This is what demons and their hosts are like when they approach the chosen. They are attracted to power and light, but this proximity invariably leads to their downfall. Evil, by its very nature, cannot coexist with light. When demons attempt to influence or harass a chosen, they are in effect exposing themselves to divine judgment, and that judgment is swift and impartial. Divine justice acts to protect its elect, and those who defy this protection face consequences that reverberate throughout the spiritual realms. The hosts, often unaware of the demonic presence in their lives, also suffer the consequences of trying to harm the chosen. When these individuals set themselves against a chosen, they are often caught in the spiritual repercussions that follow. They may experience a range of misfortunes, from personal and emotional problems to material and physical losses. This is not a revenge of the chosen, but rather a manifestation of the natural order of things. Evil cannot flourish in the presence of good, and any attempt to do so results in its own destruction. The life of a chosen one is a testimony to the power of light and divine protection. The chosen are like strong trees planted by rivers of living water, untouchable by the winds of evil. When demons and their hosts attempt to cut down these trees, they only end up exposing their own weakness and ruthlessness. The land where the chosen walk is sacred, and anyone who tries to contaminate it with darkness soon finds that their actions turn against them. This is the inevitable fate of all who oppose the chosen. The respect that demons have for the chosen is precisely because they understand these consequences. They know that by challenging a chosen, they are playing with their own destiny. And it is this fear of consequences that often keeps them at a distance. The chosen, on the other hand, need not fear, for they know that they are under the protection of a greater force, a force that guarantees that justice will always prevail. Each challenge faced is an opportunity to reaffirm this protection and demonstrate that evil will never prevail. Chosen ones, what you have just heard may sound like something out of a supernatural tale, yet it reflects the undeniable truth of the spiritual reality in which we live. The incredible truth, that even demons who may try to hinder God's work are ultimately under His divine authority, shows just how immense His power and grace are. It is a reminder that no matter what forces may rise against you, the protection surrounding you is stronger than anything the enemy can attempt. The divine protection that shields you transcends human understanding and serves as a powerful testimony of God's love and sovereignty over your life. As God's chosen, you're called to walk confidently, knowing that no matter what the enemy might throw your way, you have already been eternally guarded. Remember, evil may try, but it can never triumph over those who are truly chosen by God. Your light is too powerful to be extinguished, and your destiny is assured. So walk in faith, wisdom, and confidence, always knowing that you are under the protection of the Almighty, and no force in this world or the next can separate you from His divine will. If this message has spoken to you, and you feel moved to support this ministry, I invite you to donate through Super Thanks. Your generosity enables us to continue sharing these messages of hope and faith with others. Whether you're able to donate or not, I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this incredible community. Your presence is a blessing. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share this video. Your engagement helps spread this powerful message far and wide, impacting more lives. I pray God's blessings and favor over each of you, and I pray that you feel His presence guiding you every step of the way. You are truly chosen, and your breakthrough is on the horizon. God bless you all.